Hello. All right. Another week of trading gold. Yeah, man, fuck. Over the weekend, I actually missed trading gold. That's how, I guess I'm almost becoming addicted to it. But this is a fun market to trade, and hopefully this will be one of many Forex or commodity style markets I'm going to be trading. But anyway, this video, um, we'll be going through what I kind of expect this week. I'm going to try and do a weekly video of like analyzing what I expect for the week on every Monday. Sorry I did this one a bit later than I wanted, just because I was watching the Mavs earlier. Can't believe we lost to the fucking Kings again. So that kind of put me in a shit mood. Took a nap, feeling a little better. Gonna just discuss, price, obviously. What are the kind of key things that I'm gonna try and look forward for this week, and how I'm gonna try and trade the market. So, all right, let's take a quick look at the charts. Here we are at gold on the daily chart, and I think, obviously, in terms of price, there's two key narratives that we really have to pay attention to this week, okay? If this wasn't already clear from last week. The first one is, where are we ultimately going to break out or break down? Are we going to break out at this, downward sloping resistance line that we've now tested quite a few times over the past few days, which is holding strong on the weekly chart and kind of really preventing any further bullish momentum, and then from us really trying to test the 1800 level again? Or are we going to be potentially breaking down from this price floor that we've also been testing for a few days now? Last week we tested this 753 level once, but then we've also really been bouncing off the 1763, 1760 kind of level as well. So these two areas seem to be proving pretty strong support. But really the key narrative is, okay, are we going to be potentially trying to break through here or potentially breaking down there? Or are we just simply going to continue this kind of sideways action, right? And I think when we're talking about which way price is going to go, I think without a doubt right now, if last week didn't show this, we have to also be really paying attention to the macroeconomic economic data that's really been coming out recently, right? It's clear that from a macroeconomic standpoint right now, there's a overriding narrative that the American economy is recovering, okay? Now, typically this would go against the dollar, or sorry, against the price of gold, right? And it would cause gold to go down. But at the same time, we also have this narrative still that's creeping up. I feel like I see it more and more and more and more and more. Like I saw an article earlier today with Buffett now mentioning, wait, inflation is increasing faster than we're expecting, blah, 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 blah. So we have this inflation narrative, which is obviously pro-gold, right? So we have this kind of conflicting narratives that we need to be very, very aware of, right? Because these are obviously having a strong effect on the price of gold, as we saw last week, right? It's causing these sharp rises up and these sharp rises down. And this week, again, we have a lot of key data points that are going to be coming out, such as the, here, let's go to the economic calendar here quickly. I recommend all you guys to use investing.com's calendar to check the key data points that are coming out. For example, I'm looking at the week here. So for today, for example, we have the manufacturing PMI data coming out, right? We also have Powell speaking at 1:20 in my time this morning. So I think it's like 2:20 US time. This is just today, and there's a lot more stuff coming out this week. I expect, similar to last week, that a lot of this data is going to be positive for the economy. So consequently, what does that mean? Okay, well, how is this going to affect yields as well, right? Not just how is it going to affect the price of gold and how investors are going to be trading this news during this time, but how is this going to be affecting yields too? Because as we know, yields, they had a strong run up last week for yield standard. And is this going to continue? Are we going to continue to be going to 1700 as this more positive economic data comes out? Or how is this going to all play out really? This is something that we really need to keep our eye on because it's obviously affecting the price of gold right now. But consequently, because we have these conflicting narratives and all these different things, on top of that right now, crypto, other markets like copper, I mean, look at just copper for now, right? This is the day chart on copper. I mean, copper has just been booming, right? Price of lumber has been booming. Crypto, I mean, I don't even show you guys, right? I mean, crypto is just, we've just been continuing the massive bull run, right? And how much of these other asset classes that are doing really well are taking liquidity from gold, right? To also prevent that kind of bullish momentum to really continue that we've been seeing the last few weeks of gold. This is all of these different things, right, are causing gold to really, it seems like, to not either really break out further up onto the upside, but then also not dump down to further on the downside. So let's see and pay attention more this week and see what happens. One last thing I would say as well is that recently I've also been seeing more and more, let's see, go here. I've been seeing more and more articles occasionally now which are much more related to China, North Korea, and all this kind of foreign policy talk, right? It seems like Biden's administration is going even stronger than Trump's against China, against North Korea. And typically these types of events have led to increases in the price of gold. So this is also another narrative, while not strong now, we definitely want to be paying attention to over the coming weeks and months, right, as we're trading the gold market. So given all of that, what am I really expecting for this week, and how am I going to be trying to play this market? I mean, frankly speaking, for this week, right, we're looking at Monday right now, I do really expect just a lot more sideways action. What I kind of expect that we're going to be seeing this week is just essentially a continuation of what we've kind of been seeing here, this couple weeks ago, where we're kind of getting this, I think what we're seeing is this kind of like step up consolidation type of price action on the day chart. So sometimes we're getting this step up. I'm still quite bullish on gold in the very long term, just because if history has shown us anything, when the Fed prints money like it has been recently, sooner or later the price of gold is going to go up because people are going to leverage or hedge against the economy. So I do think that's going to happen, but just given all of the booming that's happening in other key asset classes like crypto, copper, lumber, corn, blah, 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 etc., commodities, obviously stocks, gold is just kind of the forgotten asset class, I think, at the moment. So that's why I think we're kind of getting this slow but steady, okay, move up, consolidation, move up, consolidation. So that's what I kind of expect to see here as well. And consequently, that's based on that kind of prediction, I'm going to try and trade the market accordingly. I do think that throughout these few days, we'll probably try and test this weekly resistance line and get rejected at this, unless something, of course, happens, right? Like some big news comes out or whatever, and vice versa. I think we will be testing this 1763, all the way down to 53 levels again. I do expect us to test this, but then get the bounce that we want, right? Just because of the overriding narratives of inflation or whatever it may be. So how am I going to play that consequently? Pretty much the same as I did last week, and I think there's some really good opportunities to make money here. If we think that, if we take, for example, the top of this potential swing here being around 1780, 1785, whatever you want to say, and the bottom potentially being around 1756 to 1760, right? I certainly plan to stack my buy limits around this area here, and stack sell limits up here, and then just kind of let the market swing in this potential sideways action. Of course, keeping on top of everything. The data could be so overwhelmingly positive that before we know it, there's actually a full-on turn in this kind of bullish trend that we've been seeing so far in the price of gold. But I just really don't expect that with all this kind of conflicting narrative going on, and just the technicals as well. I just think we're going to be continuing this price action. So what's very important as well, especially when we start looking at the 15-minute chart, right? don't get greedy by, for example, placing a sell limit, around 1765 because you see the price going down. Okay. If there's one thing that last week showed us, you know, price can change really quickly in terms of the momentum, right? At these levels that we've been discussing, this top here and this bottom here. So really, like, if we view this as almost like, let's say 100%, right? This range is 100%. You want to be not placing buys over the 50% line, to the downside, or placing buys above the 50% line here, right, in this 50% area here, or you don't want to be placing sells on down in this 50% area here, because chances are the risk to reward isn't worth it. Okay, you want to always try and have at least a 1-to-1 risk reward, right? So be smart about how you're positioning your orders. Okay, but so long as you're doing that, I think actually this week can be another very profitable week for us. Okay. Right now, I actually have a few positions open that I had triggered around the 1780 area, 1775 area as well. So I'm definitely right now in the profit. At one point here, it looks like, again, like, oh no, what's going to happen, right? But this resistance has held strong, and I would also expect it to hold strong if we came up here. So I'm not worried about it. Let the trades play out. This is something I need to tell myself all the time. Let my trades play out. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, let's see how we do this weekend. Let's see how my analysis held. I was pretty happy with how I did last week. So hopefully this week will be better. And yeah, actually, I was surprised at how many people actually started watching my video about crypto. So obviously, crypto is the in thing. Gold is the forgotten son. Hopefully some people who watch my crypto videos, I'm going to be doing way more gold videos just because this is ultimately for me to learn. But hopefully I can get you guys, like crypto people, interested as well in trading other markets, because the reality is that crypto won't be around forever in terms of like this bull run. There's going to be a massive bear market. But there's opportunities always to be had in other asset classes. And I was the same. I started my real interest in trading and investing in financial markets started with crypto, but I learned to love other asset classes too, and there's definitely money to be made in other asset classes. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Hopefully you can also give this video a like, if you like it, and I'll be continuing to do gold updates every day throughout this week. So if you want to follow, just follow, and yeah, let's talk. Cool, man.